What if battle chooses your life? Life is not always easy. In fact, some of you are here today. You're going through a tougher season of your life, like me. There will be seasons of real suffering, there will be seasons of real pain. But the question is that, what are you going to do with all these moments? Life is a journey that must be traveled, no matter how bad the situation is. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters mind makers. Today I'll be delivering my speech on the topic, Bite the Apple. My father worked as an office administrator in a well-known company in Sharjah, UAE. We lived there for a few years. Soon we shifted back to India. In India, students have two main options while they are doing the schooling. Either they have to join a CBSE school or else they have to join a state or government school. Parents in India have a concept like CBSE school are the Ivy League of primary education. My parents are always looking for the best. They enrolled me in a CBSE school. Imagine parent-teacher meeting in a CBSE school. It's like a quarterly performance review complete with wall graphs and pie charts. On the other hand, in a state or government school, it's more like a community potluck where you discuss your child class grades over a cup of tea and coffee banana chips. I had a nice time at my CBSE school, enjoying with my friends, making new friends, learning a lot. But by the end of 7th grade, my mother put a bombshell on me, telling me that, Jeevan, it's time to shift the school. And I asked her why. And her reason was so simple. She just promoted to high school and she just wanted me to join her. Have I mentioned something? My mother was a maths teacher. There's one difference between the great Indian mathematician Ramanujan and me. Ramanujan was so good at mathematics and poor at other subjects. On the other hand, I was so poor at mathematics. Yeah, there's only one difference. We were both same in other subjects. Being the son of a maths teacher came with its own set of pressure. On the first day at my new school, my English teacher welcomed me with Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. My science teacher fascinated me with plants and trees. And then there comes my maths teacher, walking like James Bond. I was so relieved it wasn't my mother, but that joy was short-lived. This new maths teacher gave me a wooden ruler. This is plastic, but she gave me a wooden ruler. It was at that time I came to realize that a wooden ruler can also be used to take measurements. All these years, it was used to measure my body's tolerance for pain. Then I came to realize that my English teacher never used dictionary to punish the children. Science teachers never used pipettes, burettes, microscope to punish the children. But what about this maths teacher? They had the rulers. All these things doesn't mean I was a complete zero at mathematics. I understood maths differently, very differently. My mother, a true strategist, promised me a shiny new bicycle if I agreed to shift the school. But she never told me one thing, she is going to be the vice principal of that new school. Fellow Toastmasters, my marks became the hot topic of staff room gossip. My engineering studies were all different kind of adventure. The moment when the question paper was handed out, I get a mini heart attack, knowing that I don't know what half of the question meant. Then I look around my class to see what is the expression of other classmates. Then I'll be really happy because everyone is having the same expression. Have you ever made a huge mistake in your life? If you have, can you say I? Yeah. Now count all those I's, multiply them by a factor of 2 to the power of 87.5 infinity square. That's how many mistakes I've made in my life. Thomas Alva Edison attempted 10,000 times before he made a light bulb. I made 10,000 mistakes in my life. Still, I don't have a light bulb moment in my life. You all know Mark Zuckerberg, right? That's me with mistakes. If I had my own social media site, it would have called Mistake Book. You all know Steve Jobs. That's me with mistakes. If my name would have Steve can't get a job. After my engineering studies, I worked in a Swedish company as a software engineer. Then I told my mother I'm going to resign. She was so tense. After getting 2 years of work experience, I took this risky decision of resigning from that company and choosing UK as my study destination. After coming here in UK, everything was tough. Balancing your part-time, balancing your study, pursuing your passions, your career goals, maintaining the happiness of others around you was a delicate dance. But even though you put all the necessary effort, sometimes you will fall short. Especially job hunting in London feels like a never-ending marathon where each company feels like a checkpoint that tests your stamina and patience. It's like navigating a maze where each job application forms like another twist and turn. And what about these networking events? It's like a speed dating for professionals where you're trying to create a lasting impact on professionals. And I kind of moved. But despite all these challenges, I once never thought I made a huge mistake in life because I was so confident in what decision I took. And this reminds me of the story of Adam and Eve. Now, I'm not going in a biblical kind of way, but hear me out. Even though Adam and Eve ate that forbidden fruit and faced all those significant consequences, they never gave up. They dealt with those problems that arose from their actions. And this reminds me of one thing. Everyone in our life have an apple. This apple could be an intimidating maths teacher. This apple could be an engineering answer sheet. This apple could be a stage fear. This apple could be a crucial decision in life. But the question is that, what you're gonna do with those apples, or what you're gonna choose with those apples? Would you take time to forbidden those things and wait for a bypass to these problems? Or would you face it, taste it, and walk into the problems? Fellow Toastmasters, problems is sometimes often the solution. Now let me go back to my school days. The apple was my fear of maths teachers. I decided to taste it and walk into the problem. I'm pretty sure that I wasn't able to grasp mathematics as other students did. But I'm really confident they can't forget the rejections, dejections, failures, the way I have learned to overcome in my life. Sometimes we have to bite the apple and overcome. Toastmasters.